Yeah. Tell them boys to tighten up. Tighten up. Let me hear you say it. Ho said again, hype now. Tell them boys to tighten up. Tighten up. Let me hear you say it. Nissan come alive for them. Tell them boys to tighten up. Tighten up. Let me hear you say it. All my people on Broadway. Tell them boys to tighten up. Tighten up. Oh, tell them boys to tighten up. Tighten up.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? What's up, Titan Nation? How's everyone doing today on this lovely Sunday evening? Let me get settled in before I do anything. So again, thank you guys. Welcome to the show. Appreciate you guys all coming out. Again, already got some people in the comments. I'm the first one to like it. Yeah, what's up, man? Titan, what's up? Lee, what's up, brother? Tighten up. Hakeem, tightens up. How about the new kicker? Yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit about our kicker situation. Killer Nation, what's happening, man? Again, guys, if you want to share this show out, let everyone know where to come, where it's at. Titans Mafia, what's up? How's everything, man? Thank you for coming again. We got a bunch of people jumping in. Thank you so much. Hey, Melody, how you doing? Tighten up. AZ Mick in the house. What's up, AZ Mick? Glad you can show up. Ryan, what's up? Again, tighten up. I'm doing great. Hope you guys are doing great too. Got a really good show for you guys tonight too. So I want you guys to stick with me at the end of the show. Again, I might ask a question, so you guys got to stick around. Someone might win a giveaway. It might be something different though. So again, thank you guys so much for coming out. Keem says the defense looking good Saturday. And we'll get into that. There's a couple topics I want to talk to you guys about. It's going to be really fun. Power up. The mic is no good. Hold on. How about now? Can you guys hear me? Hold on. Hopefully the mic is good. If the mic's not good, I'm going to have to wing it. So what you got to do, you got to wing it, guys. Power Hour, what's up? Had a good conversation with him earlier today, and we'll probably talk about go over a little bit about that conversation again. Again, there's a few more people here that I can talk to, and it'll be great. What's up, Steven? Tighten up, man. Again, thank you guys all for coming out. We got 18 in the house. I love it. Just keep going. Keep sharing this show. Let everyone know it's Titan time. It's time to talk some Titans. Audio is good. All right. You ready for I'm ready for Titan football. Guys, we're almost there. It's August 1st. Football season's right there. Football season is right there. So hyped, so excited, ready to go. Hopefully nothing happens, right? Hopefully everything goes well. Everyone gets vaccinated if they want to. And hopefully we have a safe season, and hopefully we have fans in the stands like it's supposed to. Because, again, I'm going to the home opener. I'm super, super excited, super pumped, ready to see what this team has to give us. Henry 2K again or no? What's up, Chris? And then we'll explain that too, man. Don't worry, stay in too, man. Tighten up, everyone. It's that time. Exactly. Thank you, man. Let's tighten up, pod. What's up, man? Again, thank you guys, everyone, for coming in. Thank you. I really appreciate all the love and support. This is what I love, coming on and talking Titans. Again, from Dallas, so a lot of people don't like talking about Titans. They like talking about the Cowboys. So this is kind of like my little world that I like to go into, and everyone understands my lingo. Everyone loves it, and it's awesome. Uncle Joe says, hi, Mr. Titan. What's up, Uncle Joe? How you doing, buddy? Welcome to the show. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. Doing some great things with the channel. Again, doing live streams, but doing live giveaways as well. So you guys get a chance to win as long as you participate. Subscribe to the channel. And like always, I send out 3 questions. You guys got to answer them. If you guys get them right, first one who gets it right gets something. It's a raffle. And I'm not gonna say it, but last week I did a giveaway, and it was a signed picture by Gerald McGrath, a former Tennessee Titans, and so I was really happy for that. Again, Gerald just got the picture, so he's signing them, and he's gonna send them on the way. Again, it's gonna be a really, really good show. Got a couple topics to talk to you about. Hopefully, you guys like them. We got Kyle says, "Tighten up, baby, crazy Kyle. What do you think of the new kicker?" Woo, we're gonna, that's gonna be a little bit later in the show, but we will definitely talk about the kicker. We'll talk a little bit about QB. We'll definitely talk about something else that occurred yesterday in Nashville that I did do on my Your Space on Twitter. So that's kind of something I've been doing lately, which is really, really cool, getting the fans involved, especially the people that watch the show and stuff like that. So I appreciate everyone again. Love and support. Love it. Paul says, "Sup, Mr. Titan? Shout out Titans family. All day, man. Titan family. I mean, we bleed two-tone blue in this channel. Hopefully you guys do." And he says, "Titans are safe for now," which I can say the same for Minnesota Vikings, Miami Dolphins, tight ends, and some of the Washington football team players. Oh, I'm assuming you're talking about the COVID shot and all that stuff. Yeah. Again, we'll break some stuff down. Just make sure to get the answers. Or yeah, correct. Yes. Make sure when you do answer the questions for the giveaway, just make sure to answer them correctly. Mr. Wood says, "What's up, man? Excited for this upcoming season, man. Bro, you understand? It's a good time. It's a good time to be a Titans fan. What's up, Josh? How are you, buddy? It's gonna be a really good season. We have something. It's just something different. I think I put that on Twitter. I said it was just something different about this Tennessee Titans team. It's just there's something in the air. You can tell that it's going to be a really, really magical season. Maybe that's just me being optimistic, but still, it's we're ready to go. We're ready to go. Team looks good. Again, we only had a couple days of training camp. We'll get into the training camp. We'll get into my two concerns. If anyone's seen the video, you probably guys already know I've been ranting about it. I'm sorry, but it's how I feel, and we'll talk. We'll talk about it, and we'll discuss a couple of things. So again, first things first. If you're going to the home opener, because I got a lot of people in the house, if you guys are going to the home opener, I will be at the home opener. Remember, I'm having right before the day before, September 11th, Mr. Titan Hangout. I'm bringing Dexter McCluster. If you guys remember, he was a former Tennessee Titans player. I'm bringing Gerald McGrath, who was another former Tennessee Titans player. It's a nice little spot called The Rudder. It's in Hendersonville, Tennessee. So on the flyer, if you follow me on Twitter, and I'll put my Twitter link below. If you don't follow me on Twitter, if you follow me on Twitter, I messed up the flyer. But apparently, so it's Hendersonville. Let's get it right. Hendersonville, Tennessee, and definitely going to be a good time. Again, you can grab a food, you can grab a drink, take a picture with the former players. They love to hang out with you, and it's just nice little. It's a pregame before the pregame. It's going to be everyone's going to be hyped up, so it's going to be a good time. Again, it's a family friendly event. If you want to bring your kids, you have your family, go ahead and bring everyone. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be a blast. Can't wait to see and meet everyone. Again, it's going to be exciting. So look out for that. Again, a little something else that's going to happen on the show, in the channel. I used to do, last year I did, it's called Titans Caves. So I would get 4 people, and they would show off basically like this in the back. So like a Titans cave, we had a couple people videotape and show some people have some really, really nice, cool items and stuff like that. So I will be bringing that back. And I believe I don't want to say it yet, but I'm in talks with the very first person is going to do it. It's going to drop every Thursday. So remember, you got Titans Cave, and you haven't seen the original ones, the first year. I say season 1. This is season 2 because I've only been only a year on YouTube. Season 1 I'll put the link in the description below. We have 4 contestants, and it was a great time. Again, they showed off their man cave. I had my boy TK Cleary, and we had a couple other people, Margarita Lopez, just showing their fandom and their house. And I mean, these people. So there was one guy in California had a toilet. It was awesome. It was awesome. So get ready for that. That's coming back. I'm going to do a couple more interviews. I got a special video that's going to be posted of really good. It's called Mr. Titan Visits Jerry World. It's going to be good. Hey, J Dubs got my tickets for the first game. Congrats, bro. You better show up, man. You better show up. I want to see you there. Again, you got to definitely, we'll link up definitely, and it'll be a good time. Again, it's exciting, man. It's an exciting year. A lot of people are really, really excited. Remember, if you haven't hit the like or you haven't subscribed, please do that. It helps the channel out tons. You'll understand. We got Wentz has decided not to have surgery right away, but he's missing all of camp. We'll talk definitely about that. Thank you for bringing that up. That's something I forgot to be there. And let's see. Andy says, I live in Henderson. I knew you weren't coming here, Dry County, and we're very small here in West Tennessee. I'm sorry, man. I apologize if I got you like all hyped up and you're like, oh, yeah, I do. That was my fault. Hopefully you can come out to the game and to the hangout. I'd really like to meet you guys again. I love to meet everyone. It's a really, really nice time to go ahead and see people that I've talked to all the time through Twitter and through Instagram and all that stuff. It's nice to actually put a face to them. So like Papi Chulo, what's up, man? What's up? Tying up. Thank you so much, brother. Likewise, it's gonna be a great show, guys. Stay with the show. Trust me. I'm gonna do a giveaway at the end, but you got to stay through the whole show because there might be 3 questions I'm gonna ask. You got to answer them correctly in the right order. You guys are gonna get some. All right, it's gonna be a good time. And we got my friend, my brother from another mother. Haven't seen him in a while, so I'm pretty hyped up. We got Ken Moore. What's up, Ken? No, I cannot hear you. We cannot hear Ken. Don't worry. Don't worry. Let's see. C Dub says, I'll be at the Titans game versus Jets game week 4. I live 15 minutes away from MetLife Stadium. All right, that's cool. Hey, man, show the support over there. Rep the two-tone blue. And whatever you rep, man, don't worry about it. We're there for you. Bills are rumored to be talking about a possible Austin, Texas move, maybe. We'll talk about that a little bit more, too, as the show goes on. All right. What's up, Ken?
Hey, what's up, bro?
Hey, there we go. There we go.
Get the bugs worked out a little bit. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's been a minute. That's why it's been a minute, man.
It's been a minute.
How you been, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm doing pretty good. Getting ready for the season. Getting ready for some college football as well. Some SWAC football that I'll be broadcasting for ESPN3 this season. And getting ready for these Titans, man. And a lot of stuff going on in the AFC South right now.
Oh, definitely. And we'll go. I'll get through the other stuff, just a little minor stuff, and then we'll definitely dive into the big stuff, the AFC South stuff, and we'll definitely the power hour. We'll get to the Bills, the Bills rumor as well. The first thing I wanted to talk about, I don't know if you heard anything about this, was the situation that happened with the Garth Brooks concert. I think we sent that in the chat, right? I think that was one. I think it was you, right?
It was me.
All right, yeah. So that raised a question, right? I thought about it. I mean, I talked to a couple of people on Twitter today. I went on, and it was just a general question, and I just wanted to know what everyone felt like. I'm like, okay, so you have the thunderstorm, bad severe thunderstorm. If no one knows, Garth Brooks, they canceled the show. Now, do you think it's possible or is it time to put a dome in Nissan Stadium? You think that's an opportunity? You think that's a good opportunity? You think that's something? Again, when I was talking to people, there was a lot of pros, not that many cons, but at the same time, a lot of people were like, well, that kind of puts us in line to eventually host a Super Bowl, right? Because you have that
Yes.
guarantee. I think they'll tax the hell out of the city, though. That's the thing. What do you think? What do you think on that? You like the idea, Chance?
Yeah, I brought it up earlier today when we were chatting about it when I read online that they had to cancel the concert. And with the way things are in 2021, every city really should have a dome, right? In my opinion, if you can afford it. Now, there are some cities where on the East Coast or up north, Lambeau, they embrace the cold. Buffalo, they embrace the cold. They embrace the snow and things of that nature. But if you don't have a second indoor facility that can hold large concert events, when you have a Beyonce that's going to bring 40, 50,000, or a Garth Brooks that's going to bring 40, 50,000 people, that's going to be too much for the stadium where the Predators play, right? Mm-hmm. Just like here in Houston, we have a lot of different venues. We have Minute Maid Park that holds around 35, 40,000 people. Then you have NRG that holds 75,000. Then you have Toyota Center where the Rockets play. It holds about 18,000. So depending on, the artist that's coming to town, you can put them in the appropriate spot. I don't know a lot about Nashville. I'm assuming there's only one major indoor arena is where the Predators play. I would assume. You can correct me if I'm wrong. And then you have Nissan Stadium outside. So, and again, it comes down to, is it going to be something where the team pays for it? Probably not. The public usually has to pay for stadiums. So if the people in Nashville and the people in Tennessee want to increase their taxes to pay for a stadium, I think it'll be well worth it. And you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, when the Titans moved from Houston to Nashville in 97, I believe it was a 30-year lease. So that lease may be running out in 2027, 2028. And then the Adams family is going to come to the public and say, hey, we need a new stadium. We need a dome. We need more suites. We need more revenue. We need something fancy where we can get a Super Bowl to Nashville. So all of that is going to come to fruition probably in the next 6 to 7 years anyway.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I don't see, there was, again, like they were explaining, there was more pros to the dome than anything. And then there was like a little referral about, how, again, I'm from Miami. They had the Dolphin Stadium had that renovation and stuff. They didn't put a dome, but they decided to put, they just the little shaded area, which makes a big difference. Let me tell you, especially in Nissan Stadium, man. There's a section if you're sitting, I think I forgot which. I mean, people will probably correct me. It's rough. It is rough, man. You will get burned bad. It's hot. It's nasty. So the fact that the Dolphins went and did that reservation again, they did a couple minor changes, but still kept it good. It was worth it, I think, at the end. And I think that's what they were explaining. Again, if everyone saw, I think they were showing some like blueprints on like reservations on changing the fan experience right outside Nissan Stadium and stuff like that. And it looked good, It was just changing a little bit because, again, people might hate me, but the Nissan Stadium is it's a very basic, bland stadium. There's not that much that goes around it. There's the field, there's a couple, stands, couple stores, and that's it. It's nothing crazy out of this world. So I wouldn't mind even having a couple reservations where that makes everything a little bit nicer and stuff like that. It would probably bring a little bit more attention to a smaller market.
Yeah, Yeah, I saw James in the chat. He said domes are for snowy states. Hey, domes are for hot weather states. You see Arizona, you see Vegas, you see
Yep.
Houston, you see Dallas, you see New Orleans, Atlanta. Domes are for the South, not necessarily for, I mean, they have one in Minnesota, but most of your domes are in the South, not in the North, contrary to popular belief. So it just depends on what the citizens want. You know, if it's not, maybe they can build a second venue in Nashville that can hold large events, you know, for 30, 40,000, maybe an indoor, maybe the Predators get a new facility. I don't know anything about that situation there. But yeah, but I think in about 6 to 7 years that they're going to have to do something.
Yeah, definitely. I like Antonio and Chris says championship first, new stadium second. And hey,
it helps.
Hey, that's true. That's true. But again, another thing they brought up was like, hey, what about the advantage for someone who plays indoor and then to the team that's, you know, plays outdoor? And I was telling them it's almost like 50-50. It's like, because again, AFC South, we have the Colts and the Texans that play indoors, right? They have their, you know, when we play them. But when they come to Nissan Stadium, it's a whole different and on that one, just because in cold weather, really windy games. So that should benefit the Titans. So I think right there, it's kind of 50-50 on that. What do you think about that, especially with teams like disadvantages and advantages on domes and not domes?
There is a huge, in my opinion, disadvantage to dome teams when it comes to the playoffs. I don't believe a dome team has ever won the Super Bowl. I know that was a stat for a long time, and I know with a lot of new stadiums popped up, it kind of makes it difficult to remember. But I do remember when the Oilers were here in Houston, and they would always go to the playoffs. And anytime they had to go to Pittsburgh or go to Buffalo and it's snowing and it's 5 degrees, it was always a problem for the Oilers going to those cold weather cities. The Saints, when they have to go on the road up to Lambeau or something like that in the NFC, it's a problem for them. So I think it does become a disadvantage if you have to go on the road and try to win, you know, in inclement conditions.
Well, he's saying the Saints won a Super Bowl, but they won it in Miami. It was nice.
Saints, okay, thank you. The Saints, thank you. I forgot about it. I knew it was one. I just couldn't remember who it was. The Saints won a Super Bowl.
I know, Rossi. What's
I remember
up, man?
they did not have to go on the road. I think they had all of their games at home, and then, as you mentioned, they went to Miami, so they never had to play in those inclement conditions.
Yeah, the Colts and the Saints are the only some teams to win a Super Bowl in the last decade. That again, get in the dome. So that's always interesting to play to know. And I think both of them won in Miami. No, I think both of those championships were in Miami. I think so. Let's see. He says, "How about Cleveland and their badass no games?" I say
the Rams. The Rams were in a dome.
Okay, greatest show ever. The Rams are in the dome, so I mean,
a few dome teams
again, it was interesting. Yeah, it's always been it was an interesting conversation again that I just thought of. I'm like, well, you think it would be time for a dome? Wouldn't be. It would be kind of cool, but oh my gosh, we did. Let's see, we actually get a kicker. We'll talk about the kicker situation in a little bit too. I thought the Colts one was in Jacksonville. Maybe it was. I don't really remember. To be honest with you guys, I don't remember anything with the Colts. I try not to remember. So talking about
you froze up, bro. You're a frozen statue right now.
You got me now. Sorry, it's the internet's been a little rough.
Yeah, we got you a little bit. You're a little blurred, but we got you now, I think. And you're frozen again. And he's gone. All right. So looks like K More Sports is going to take over Mr. Titan show for a while until he gets his internet connection back. Now, I don't have control over anything here, so I'm just going to talk and ramble for a little while. I was actually going to do a show tonight myself. If you guys haven't subscribed to my show, please do so. Once you're done here, you can hop over to K More Sports, hit that subscribe button. I'll have some content coming out as we get into preseason. But one of the things that I was going to talk about tonight, Mr. Titan, if you can hear me, we can't see you or anything. But anyway, one thing I was going to call tech support. One thing I was going to talk about is the Colts, our primary competition in the AFC South. As most of you know, they are without their starting quarterback, their new quarterback, Carson Wentz. He did not make it through 1 week of practice. He has a problem with his right foot. He's already had it examined and looked at by a doctor. They're going to give him rest for now. They're not going to do immediate surgery. So that's going to be very interesting how things shake out for the Colts. I think that leaves the door wide open for the Titans to take control of this division in the first week of the first month of the season. If you don't have Carson Wentz and you're the Indianapolis Colts and you have to go with Eason or you have to go with Sam Ehlinger, who went to my school, the University of Texas, it's going to be very, very difficult for them to compete. And my guy's back. I was just talking about the Colts and Carson Wentz while you were gone and the problems that I believe that the Colts are going to have at the start of this season. And I've been on a lot of Colts blogs and listened to a lot of their fans and a lot of their writers, and they tend to think that Carson, he may miss 1 or 2 regular season games and he may be okay. Here's my thing with Carson Wentz. If he misses the entire preseason and he misses a portion of the regular season, he's not in a position where he can just step into the quarterback position and take over a team he's never played with before. It would be completely different, say, if, knock on wood, Ryan Tannehill was in the same situation. Well, Tannehill could come back in week 3 or 4 and pick up right where he left off because he already has continuity with the offense. That's not the same for Carson Wentz. If he misses the entire preseason, he is not going to be able to walk into that Indianapolis Colts locker room, into that huddle, and be successful. So I think the Titans, I know you were about to talk about the kicking situation. If we can get the little things tightened up, backup quarterback for us. What if something happened to Tannehill? We'd be in the same situation as Indianapolis right now. So if we take care of those little things, I think it'll be a cakewalk to win this division now.
I think so too. Do you still have the Colts as the closest to competing with the Titans, or do you favor now? Do you favor Jacksonville? Do you favor Jacksonville? I ain't gonna say Houston Texans, but what do you think about that?
I mean, the Colts still have a really good roster. They're going to have to lean a lot on their running game with Jonathan Taylor. I think Jonathan Taylor would have to rush for 1,800 to 2,000 yards for them to be in competition to even make the playoffs. Right now, in my revised predictions, I have the Titans still at 12-5, but I have the Colts at around 7-10, 6-11 right now because their first 5 games are incredibly difficult. And if they have to go into those games with a backup quarterback or Carson Wentz, who hasn't had any practice time, I can see them getting off to like a 1-4 start, and it's going to be very difficult to climb uphill in the AFC.
So definitely, that's always something to look forward to. Again, I know that he was gonna. He said he opted out of not having surgery just yet, right? That was his thing. Right. That he wasn't gonna have surgery just yet. I mean, we'll see what happens. James got us 14-3. I like that. We played we play them the third regular game. Yeah, we play them the third game of the season. So that might be a very important game. The Colts can run the ball and play defense, which is very true, and that's what you were saying. That's what's going to happen. They're just going to have to rely heavily on that run game. But they're very deep in the roster. They're very, very good. So we just have to worry about that. But I think, like you said, I think we should, if we don't get the AFC really repeat, there's something wrong with this. This is like a give me again. And it's happened before where we had gimmies and never worked out for the Titans, but we'll see what happens. So, talking about the kicking situation, I had a little meltdown as you were laughing because you were texting me saying, "Why are you so mad?" I saw the writing on the wall, Ken. I saw what they were kind of doing, and it was frustrating. And I was like, man, Rabel's just going to milk this thing just till the very end. And I'm like, what's happened with Steven, the kicker from last year? Like, where is he at? I was thinking maybe eventually we'll pick him up if things don't look promising after preseason almost. Like, hey, is he retired officially? He never came out and said that he was retired, right?
No, he's not retired. He's out there if they want to go get him. I think sometimes with a veteran kicker like Gostkowski, his salary is going to be a lot higher than a rookie, right? So if you can get the same production from a rookie, you'd rather have that rookie than pay that higher salary to Gostkowski.
Now, we had the two kickers. One of them got waived today. Blake, whatever the hell his name is, he was no good. They were having problems in the kicking game in training camp. Titans welcome new kicker Sam Ficken. Does this solve our problem at kicker? Is kicker still the issue? What do you think? Do you think, hey, this guy with his background, again, he had some success with the Jets. Not the greatest, but again, he had some veteran leadership. He played in NFL games, which is very important. So he knows about that. What do you think, Ken?
It's a problem, man. It's a problem. The majority of NFL games come down to 3 points.
Especially playoffs.
With the Titans, the way the Titans play, we're a run-heavy team. So that lends to closer ball games. And you have to have a reliable kicker, even for extra points, right? You can't afford to miss an extra point in a 35-34 game. You end up losing that game by a point, or you have to end up going for 2. So it's very critical that they get this right. They have 4 weeks to figure it out. They have 3 preseason games to figure it out. And but you just hate to go into the season unsettled at a position that you've been unsettled at since Ryan Suckup got hurt 3 years ago, So it's a tough task, but you have to be able to find someone. If you're John Robinson, that's your job. Go find a kicker. You can't afford to blow critical games because you fail in that one area.
Yeah, that's one thing. I wasn't mad. I was mad that there wasn't enough competition for kicker. That it looked like the Titans were okay with going with Tucker McCann and going with this Blake guy, and the reports were like they were missing left and right. They were missing. I mean, again, it's practice. There's no, you get me? There's no fans in the stands. There's no pressure. Like, you shouldn't be missing these, man. And that was the thing that was worrying me the most. I'm like, man, and that was the thing that was upsetting me. I'm like, why can't we just have at least a little bit more competition, especially at the kicker spot? Like, there's a bunch. It has to be a bunch of kickers. There has to be a bunch that's out there. Again, we signed someone from the CFL because he kicked a 59er or a 61. I mean, I don't know if he's gonna make it. I don't think he most likely won't. But again, get that, especially that position. Get it where we have competition and just make it a little bit more not so easy. Like, oh, this guy missed it, I missed it. We're the only ones. We're the only kickers, and that's it. And it just that's what I think was frustrating me the most was just that. I think they will end up going back and signing the veteran Gronkowski. I think that's in reality, unless this Sam kid comes in and shocks everyone, this and that. He's young though. I think he's young. He's like 20 something, 27, 28. I still think they're gonna give it to the veteran. Again, he was good from 50 and out. He was nailing them. It's just he missed a damn extra. That doesn't make sense. But again, he was nailing them from 50. Let him go. He'll go off. But we got Titans and Truth in the house. What's up, Blue and Force? And what's up, man? How you doing?
How's it going, gentlemen?
Great.
What's going on, Chris?
Not much. Same old. Just trying to make it every day and making this work. So, yeah, definitely heard about this new kicker. So hopefully, this guy can frickin' kick.
No pun intended.
Exactly. I mean, hey, if it works out, it'll be, you could say that motherfucking did it.
So what do you think about the kicking situation, Chris? Do you think it's solved? What do you think, man?
Honestly enough, we're gonna have to see it in games because we see some struggles happening in practice, and that's with nobody rushing at them. We got to see how this works where there are guys actually rushing at the kicker trying to block the kick. And you got to see how you do in those pressure cooker situations. And Ficken comes in, does have some NFL experience, has kicked in games, and which is something that Harbill and Tucker McCann have not done. So, that does kind of help a bit on that. But, preseason is going to try to tell us a lot.
Well, you know what? For the other guy, we didn't need preseason. He showed us in training camp. He missed half of them. The hell with him. He's gone. Now,
exactly.
Yeah. Again, I was thinking about it. I think they might make a shirt now. Titans Ficken win. Look at that. I like it.
That would be a good shirt.
That would be. Again, Papi Chulo said, Chris, what's up? TNT, Titan Rossi, what's up? So a lot of love for the Blue Enforcer again. If you guys haven't checked him out, you haven't checked Kenmore out, great guys to put great content. So thank you guys. Melanie says Ficken has been 70.2 in his NFL career.
Well, that's better than what we've dealt with in the past. It's a improvement over what happened. I want to say he went 13 and 15 last year. That is a good thing. Beyond 50, he has had some issues. We had that with suck up at times where he couldn't hit from 50, but he would hit some big kicks when it counted. So, again, we're going to have to see if this guy is frickin' good.
Ficking, kicking, and sticking. That is great. I want the guy to be on the Titans just for this. I think
it's gonna be like KFC, ficking, licking good.
Oh man, Ross is right. He's like, we won the division on a doink last season. Come on, J.
Ficking right.
Ficking right. I like that. What were you gonna say, Kevin?
Yeah.
Oh no, I was just saying. I'm sure the Tennessean when he hits a game-winning kick, that's gonna be the headline. Ficking, licking good.
Finger licking good.
Yeah, that would be awesome if Mike Keith called and he said the kick, snap, set, kick on the way. It's freaking good.
I'm not trying to win. There are no flags on the field.
No freaking flags on the freaking field. Oh man, this would be just the name alone is awesome in and of itself.
It really is. And you know what?
Or he thick and sucks.
Oh yeah, that could be
Right.
Especially, well, the funny thing is, especially in Tennessee, he could be 4 for 4 and miss a field goal at the end of the game, and he'll be gone. We were like,
Right.
he picking sucks. He's gone. Get him out.
Be like, thicken.
Well, I know. Remember the live stream that we did the Broncos game?
Yeah.
Oh, that was rough. Remember how many field goals?
Oh my God, that was
rough. Remember that game?
That was that was a hard game to watch.
It was. And I was like, shit, we're live too. So I'm trying to be entertained about man, this is rough right now.
Oh, this name. That is awesome. If
you guys remember the kicking situation, we've had trouble with the kicking situation for about 2.5, 3 years already almost?
For at least 3 years, we've had this trouble.
Ryan Suckup, again, was the closest to being the most reliable kicker we've had in a while.
Exactly.
And what happens? He gets injured. They try to bring him back. And then after that, his leg was shot. They brought him back too early. We let him go. And then guess what? He gets a ring. Looking good.
And Greg Joseph, too.
Greg Joseph,
too. I believe he's on their practice squad. I mean, and really, we didn't really do Joseph any real fair justice. We didn't give Greg Joseph a real fair opportunity to win the job the following year because, I mean, he comes in the middle of the year. We didn't have to use him at all because we were scoring touchdowns. All he had to do was kick extra points. But we only had one real field goal kick, and that was an AFC championship, and it was good. It started off the scoring, but Greg Joseph didn't get a real fair opportunity to be the kicker. And I think, maybe with Joseph, it would have probably at least somewhat solved the problem, but we don't know. And we'll probably, unfortunately, never know.
I'm sorry, but this was pretty funny. A surprise throw in the end zone by the kicker for a touchdown. Frickin' be tricking the defense. I'm done.
Oh, man.
Bravo, sir.
The name is the butt of all jokes. Or better yet, if he does stuck, it'll be like, this dude's a freaking joke.
They're saying, I'm wondering if he retired. Why wouldn't he be invited to camp? Again, I don't think he's retired. Again, Ken Moore said that he's not retired at all. He's still out there. And
they don't need to invite him to camp.
And I think, to be honest with you, I think at the very end, I think we're going to go end up grabbing him again. That's just my gut feeling. I think if this doesn't work out with Ficken or McCann, maybe they, third game of the preseason, hey, go count. And you know what? They don't really need a practice. All he needed to do was rest because he was injured last year as well.
Mm-hmm.
So they needed him to rest. They know he's been a vet. Mike Rabel kind of knows how to work with, especially the vets. I mean, for God's sake, he gave Julio Jones and A.J. Brown, a day off after training camp for one day, and they weren't even hitting each other. They didn't have pads on. So I think Mike Rabel knows what he has in his back pocket just in case. So what do you guys think with the kicking situation? You think that's going to be the case, or you think these guys are McCann and Ficken are the ones for the spot? I mean,
I'll say right off the top of the bat, I mean, Ficken has to be the favorite, at least right now, just on experience alone. Because, I mean, McCann has been, I can tell in practice, and, we can get it with TD, with Teron. It's been inconsistent. It's been up and down. One day he does really well. The next day, not so well. It's like it's a back and forth type of thing. It's like he is what we say about the Titans and maybe about the Grizzlies all the time. He's consistent at being inconsistent. And, You know, he is consistently inconsistent. So that is a problem. And we'll just have to see when Ficken starts putting in some kicks, you know, how does he do? You know, if he's banging them home, you know, day after day, if he's and if it's, you know, 3 or 4 one day, 4 or 4 another day, 5 or 5 another day, maybe 4 or 5 another day, depending on the conditions or whatever, okay, that's fine. But if it's, you know, 3 or 4, 4 or 5, 3 or 5, God forbid 2 or 4 or 2 or 5, then we're still going to have a problem. But I just don't think we'll be able to know any evidence until we see them against another team in actual gameplay, or even against our own scout team that's going to be trying to rush at them and see what happens. So that is where we'll really find something out.
What about you, Ken?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we got to see them in game situations when they have those team practices. Are we practicing with Tampa Bay this year or New England?
Yeah.
We are.
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay. Okay, so yeah, in those practices, those will be live, so we can get some information on how he does in those practices. And once the preseason games start, that's where you can kind of determine. But you have to get that timing and that rhythm in practice. We got a new long snapper from the Ravens, I believe, who's supposed to be one of the best. You got Brett Kern as your holder. So that unit has to get together. You can't keep going through the whole preseason rotating kickers. You have to get that timing down, and we'll find out what happens when the preseason starts.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, I agree. And Chad Davis, man, love you, brother. Thank you for coming on, man. It's a good dude right there. The next topic I got for you guys. All right. So, again, it's been a couple days of training, right, of the training camp. As of right now, through the newspaper, through the media, what are your pros from training camp so far, and what are the cons? What do you see as most the good things? I mean, again, they showed a lot. Again, they showed a lot of offense. I really, really wanted to see more of the defense, to be honest with you. Don't get me wrong. I love Julio Jones. I'm excited for that offense. I know what the offense is going to bring. But I still wanted to see a little bit more on, you know, Jeffrey Simmons and stuff like that. And they didn't really show too much. They showed a lot of the rookies, and then they showed a lot of offense. So, Ken, what do you think about that? And everyone in in the chat, let me know what you guys think.
I mean, it's hard to take a lot out of what you get on the video clips, because really you're only going to get the skill position players. You're only going to see the linemen going up against the dummies and things like that. By the way, there's a hilarious video of Jadeveon Clowney tripping over.
Yeah, I saw that.
If you haven't seen that, guys, in the chat, go Google Jadeveon Clowney at Cleveland Browns camp. Completely hilarious. But you're not going to really see the linemen battling one-on-one yet. You're just going to see that from the skill position guys. So really not a lot to take from that. I do know that this secondary should be a lot better just from going against A.J. Brown and Julio Jones in camp, because you're not going to find two better receivers to test your skills again. I wish Farley was out there so he could get some reps in against these guys. Yeah. That was one of the reasons, you know, I know Tighten Up Low was all over Farley, and I was like, I don't know. He may be good 2 or 3 years from now, but I don't know if he's gonna be able to give us what we need this year. So just watching the cornerbacks, trying to, you know, contain Julio and A.J. Brown, that's a lot of good practice for them.
Yeah, I can take it back. I can piggyback off of that, and I like Titan Rossi saying at least the kicker's name is not Finkel, and I'm like, I agree with that. You know, definitely not Ray Finkel, but I would say some of the pros. I mean, obviously, you know, AJ Julio. AJ is AJ Downtown Brown. He's being his usual self. Offensively, I'm liking what I've been hearing with Dylan Radunz getting some work, and you know, Darrington Evans. Darrington Evans is getting a lot of work, with Derrick Henry mainly doing individual, but Darrington Evans really doing a lot of the team drills as the main back, also getting some work as possibly our pretty much our kick returner and getting some look at punt returner as well. And so you got that. Racy McMath is definitely impressing. He's a name I've heard a lot. Is McMath. Des Fitzpatrick is definitely getting some love as well. So I mean, some of the young receivers, are definitely getting some attention. And I believe Austin and Zach was mentioning this. Marcus Johnson is making it very difficult on the coaching staff because he's been consistently doing well. Don't know what he'll bring on special teams or anything, but him and Mason Kinsey are making it very, very difficult. Also, some pros. I mean, Jack Rabbit. It has been looking pretty good. I mean, from what I've been seeing, Jack Rabbit, Fulton's getting some experience. Breon Borders is just as impressive as he's been over the last year. And I mean, again, take away the Cleveland game from last year. Breon Borders has been extremely solid, has been very, very good as a corner. And, you got that. Amani Hooker coming in at safety. So those are definitely some pros. Cons, I mean, like Ken alluded to, you're not really getting to see a lot of defensive line one-on-one with offensive linemen and things like that. Although, Jeffrey Simmons, Tier Tart, Danico Autry have been looking pretty decent. We haven't seen Bud Dupree yet. I haven't really heard anything with Jayon or with Rashawn Evans just yet. So we don't know really how the interior of the defense is looking. So that's some things that we hopefully will get ironed out maybe within the next few weeks.
Definitely. And again, sorry for my internet's been acting up. So if anything, if I go away again, remember you guys can always jump on the show and do your thing because you guys got it. I know you guys got it.
Me and Kittle be the next host. Me and Kittle take over Mr. Titan's show for forever now.
there we go. Apparently, because my thing is acting up. But again, Borders is having a great camp so far. I'm really one of the people I'm really looking forward to seeing is Armani Hooker. I really liked what he did last year. I think he'll be a nice little piece, and I know they'll give him a bigger role this year.
Yeah, he'll be a starter now. So,
yeah, definitely. So going from one person to the next, hold on. We have, let's see, hold on. God, my internet's so slow. Sorry about that. Hey. Simmons is incredible shape. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Am I good?
Yep. We hear you loud and clear.
All right. Sorry. And again, ladies and gentlemen, sorry for the technical difficulties. It's been a little nuts today. But do you think Bud Dupree will be ready week 1? And I know that Ken and Upload got into it, but they had a discussion and stuff like that. And again, that was one of the questions I talked to with people on Twitter and stuff. And the gentleman brought up to me, I said that I don't think so. I don't think he'll be ready week 1. I think Mike Rabel is almost like the Jeffrey Simmons situation where Mike Rabel knows what type of player he has. And again, it's a 17-game season. It's different from last year. I think he doesn't want to rush them. He wants to be almost at least up to 100%, just because almost like Jeffrey Simmons, you wait and guess what? Patience. I mean, look what happens. Jeffrey Simmons, we waited and it blossomed into something good. Again, it was I believe there was 2 different injuries, obviously. And he was saying that, Jeffrey Simmons did the math and he's like, well, Jeffrey Simmons came back week 7 against the Chargers, and he was supposed to be, I think, sidelined for a little bit longer. And he's like, and Bud Dupree was the same thing. He got hurt last year, and if you do the math, and you find out like the recovery time, I think he's supposed to be recovered fully is like July or something, July or August. But at the same time, this is why I told him, I go, yes, I understand that. But Jeffrey Simmons, is another player, another person. People heal differently, you know? I think Jeffrey Simmons actually came back a lot sooner than they expected too, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think Bud Dupree is going to play. I think they're going to wait and make sure that he's good and that he doesn't get hurt. I have almost like a clowny on their hands where they just throw him out there and he eventually gets hurt. I think Mike Rabel is going to be very careful with Bud Dupree. You guys can go ahead.
Ken?
Well, a couple of different factors. Being a number one pick, with Simmons, you buy a little bit more time, particularly because you had a Jarrell Casey there at the time. So you didn't have to rush Jeffrey Simmons into the lineup. So you had some cushion there.
True.
With Bud Dupree, you don't have any cushion in front of Bud Dupree. It's Bud Dupree and it's Harold Landry and it's whoever else can make the team. Also, teams don't like to pay a lot of money for a guy to sit on the bench and watch if he's ready to play. Bud Dupree heavily invested a lot of money into Bud Dupree. So if Bud Dupree is ready to play week one, we may not see him in the preseason, but if he's ready to go week one, they will put him in the lineup week one.
I agree. I think Bud Dupree is not so much do we think he's ready for week one. He has to be ready for week one. There, like Ken said, I agree 100%. With Big Jeff, you got Jarrell Casey in front of him. With Caleb Farley, even though we would want to see him, we got Janoris Jenkins, Christian Fulton in front of him. So, and with him being a first-round draft pick, Caleb Farley could buy a little bit more time, although I'd like to see him now.
Right.
But with Bud Dupree at a position that we desperately needed, he ain't got the luxury of waiting. Vrabel ain't got the time to be coach cautious and be like, I don't want to rush him back. If Bud Dupree is ready, put him in the game. You ain't got a choice.
I agree, 1,000%.
I mean, again, what if he's not at 100%? What if he's at 75? You still, again, you said week one, 75%, not the greatest. He's a risk at getting hurt. Are we going to do it almost like what happened to Ryan Suckup, where we back in that's not fully healthy and risk the injury even worse than before? What do you think?
Well, I'm going to put it to you like this, Mr. Titan. As much as I love you, I might be striking a nerve when I say this to everybody. We ain't in the business of being cautious anymore. We're trying to win a freaking Super Bowl. It doesn't matter. He's got to be ready to rock and roll. And I would rather take Dupree at 75, 80% over a 100% John Simon, who, I mean, don't get me wrong, will probably give some depth. We'll probably get some depth because we need that. Rashad Weaver is going to be good, a good backup or anything like that. But like Ken said, we invested $82 million in this cat. We're paying him over $16 million a season. Hi-ho freaking silver, let's go. So I'm sorry, but Dupree, 48, better be out there week one getting out to Kyler Murray.
The only way Bud Dupree is not out there week one is if he has some type of setback during camp. If he doesn't have a setback during camp, fully expect him to be on that field week one, trying to corral Kyler Murray and Larry Fitzgerald and DeAndre Hopkins and whoever they have at running back.
And Drake, I expect it. I expect him out there.
Now, I don't expect him to play 95% of the snaps like Harold Landry has been playing the last 2 years. I would expect it to be probably in the 50% range, 50, 55%. It And it may be situational, third down, rushing situations, things of that nature. But he has to be on the field providing this team some pressure from the outside.
I love that point by you. I love that point with you. You know, doesn't have to play 95% of the snaps, but he's got to be out there. And that is where you bring in the aforementioned John Simon and Rashad Weaver. And if Derek Ropes is on the team and gives you anything, and you know, or Tighten Up Low's favorite guy, Wyatt Ray, who we could give away for a box of cookies. You know, if those guys are, you know, backing them up, okay, that's fine. So I love that point.
Definitely. I mean, we'll see. Hopefully, again, like I was telling the gentleman, I'm like, I hope he plays. I hope he plays week 1. I'm not saying that I hope he doesn't. I mean, hell yeah. I mean, we have a better chance of winning if he's out there. Just want him 100%. That's all. But again, I think Chris hyped everyone up. We do want to win now. Yeah, it's true though. We're in a small window where we see an opportunity to win a championship, and that's between 2 to 3 years. 3 years is like top. Right now, this is right now on paper the best probably Titans team on paper.
I agree. And you know, and that's why, you know, we got to bring that energy on that. I mean, I understand. Again, you do not want to rush him back too soon and have a chance of re-injury. That is the scary thing about it. But at the same time, we're in the business of winning championships. And you go get a guy like a Julio Jones, you go get a guy like a Bud Dupree, you are basically saying, we're going for it. We're going for the big time. We're coming for a title. That's basically what you're saying. You're saying we can go up against Buffalo. We can go up against Kansas City or eventually go up against Tampa Bay and beat those teams. So that's what you're saying on paper. Now it's time to take it from on paper to on the field.
Definitely. I think Titan Rossi had a question. Hold on. And then I'll get to your comments, guys. Sorry about that. It's just a lot of people right now. I think he says, who plays the nickel if Farley is not available? Do you put Breon there or Fulton or vice versa? One of them got to play outside. What do you think, Truth?
I would probably say if Farley's not available, you have Fulton on the outside. You also got Elijah Molden who could play on the inside as well. And I would even venture to say, now there will be some situations where you have Breon Borders on the outside with Janoris Jenkins. You put Fulton and Molden on the inside in that dime package setup. But if it's a nickel package, I would probably venture to say it should be Fulton on the outside, Molden on the inside. Now, you could possibly also mix it with Borders and Fulton or Borders and Molden on the inside. So you could kind of mix it up. It doesn't have to necessarily be one particular set of guys that's in there. So, again, you can have it where it's Jenkins, Fulton, and Molden, or you can have it where it's Jenkins, Borders, Fulton. You can even have it where it's Fulton, Borders, Molden at some point in time. So it's a lot of different ways you could go with that.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. What about you? What about you, Ken?
I kind of missed the question. What was the question? Is it the question here? If Farley's not available?
Yeah.
Well, we had Fulton in the slot last year before he got hurt. So I would kind of anticipate him to stay there and probably have Borders and Jackrabbit on the outside. That's how I think they would go into it. They would probably want to keep Fulton in that slot position.
I can go for that.
Yeah, I can go for that as well. Hold on. Before Tennessee Titans Logic's in the house, tying the hell up. Tying up, brother. Thank you so much for coming out. Again, everyone who's out there supporting the channel, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. Oh, hey, Teddy has a question. Do y'all trust the play calling for this season? Ooh. I don't know.
Good question.
I don't know.
I don't trust it
Smith
until I see it.
Moment. Yeah, Arthur Smith had his questionable calls, right? Throwing to one of the linemen on what it was a third and what? I remember that
It was
play.
a fourth down.
It was a fourth down, and why would you do that? Like again, there's some questionable calls.
But Art had more better calls than questionable calls. Yeah, he had a couple of stinkers. He had a couple of stinker calls, but it wasn't to the degree of Shane Bowen. And that is gonna be the key to a lot of this. You can have all the talent in the world, but if your play calling isn't right, it's not gonna matter. So at the end of the day, the pressure is mainly on Vrabel, Downing, and Bolden and Shane Bowen, because again, Vrabel played that blame card on the players in the last season in the offseason. Now he don't have that card to play anymore. He can't go back and say if the defense doesn't do well, he can't say, it's the players' fault. It's not the coaching fault. As Stone Cold would say, you can't do that anymore. You can't call that. You got to take some accountability and be like, this is my fault. So Downing, and then with Downing, we got to pray to God he doesn't go back to Oakland Downing, where it's like sometimes he tried to fix stuff that wasn't broken. Mm-hmm. You can't go away from what's working. Don't try to get too cute. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Plain and simple.
I think in addition to the play calling, it's going to be curious to see how much more is put on Ryan Tannehill's plate to make decisions for himself in the huddle and also at the line of scrimmage. Tannehill normally does an excellent job audibly at the line of scrimmage. So it's going to be really up to him to get the team in and out of bad plays. If there's a bad play call by the offensive coordinator, then it's up to Tannehill to go to the line and survey the scene and change that play and get them into the right place. So we talk a lot about the offensive coordinator, but a ton of that will come on your veteran quarterback who has to have the capability of getting us in and out of the right play. And he's done a tremendous job of that the last year and a half.
Now, there was something that someone brought up, which was a pretty good, not game plan, but situation. They were explaining how they go, hey, what about this? And this guy is not a Titans fan. He just loves football. He was watching. He goes, you know how Derrick Henry, he starts off slow. It just, that's what it is. He said it before. He starts off slow. He wish he could start off faster. Do you think in the beginning of the season, with again adding Julio Jones, do you see the Tennessee Titans offense as being a pass first type offense, maybe for the beginning of the season until they Derrick Henry starts warming up, maybe mid-October or something like that? What do you see with additions with, our wide receivers have gotten a little bit better, and he goes, maybe that's the game plan, which would kind of surprise a lot of people because again, everyone knows kind of our game plan. We're gonna smash mouth football, but what happens if we start slinging the ball? And again, like Ken said, it's up to Tannehill, right? This is Tannehill's team. He has to take charge. What better way if it starts slinging the rock everywhere? What do you guys think?
I think it's on a game-by-game basis. I think, your game plan for Arizona is going to be specific to Arizona. The next week for Seattle, it's going to be specific for Seattle. I don't think there's hey, let's start Derrick off running them 10 times a game, then 15, then 20. I don't think you're going to see that type of pattern unless the game itself calls for it. And a lot of that will be dictated by what's going on the other side of the ball, right? If the defense is allowing teams to go through us like, hot butter, then you're going to have to throw the ball to try to catch up and stay in the ball game. If your defense can get stops and you can get the ball and you can run 10-play, 80-yard drives, take 6 minutes off the clock, that's what the team wants to do, right? They want to control the clock, keep the defense on the sidelines, minimize their opportunities to get burnt. But if you can't do that, then you got to open it up.
Yeah, and I mean, I've said this many times. A lot of times we use the run to set up the pass. There can be some time where you use the pass to set up the run. And I mean, again, Julio and AJ have said is a pick your poison type of offense. And that's something that we got to make it so. We got to make it so that we're keeping the defense on the heels and they never know what's coming. Just when they think, Derek's going to run the ball down their throat, bang, we hit them over the top to Julio or AJ for a big gainer or a touchdown. Or just when they think, oh, they're trying to go to Julio, they're trying to go to AJ, then Derrick Henry busts it up inside and makes, get some chunks of yards. So I'm with Ken. It does come down to the game plan for each opponent, but you're going to have to use the pass, set up the run, but you got to get Derrick Henry his carries because he gets better as the game goes along. We can't have a Carolina situation where he only has like 6-7 carries in the first half. Derrick needs to have about, I'd say, 10 to maybe 12 or 13 carries in that first half. And then in that second half, he gets another maybe 10 to 12 carries to go along with that. So it's about balance. And Ken alluded to it. Ryan Tannehill does a great job of getting out of plays, and he can kind of cover any discrepancy that Downing may have. If he sees a better play that can give us more success, I mean, that's going to matter. And like Ken said, a veteran quarterback, sees things differently. We know, unfortunately, with Marcus Mariota, and I will harp on him a little bit, he was a yes guy. He was the guy that wasn't going to change up the play, or he didn't want to upset the balance of what the coaches were calling. He's like, if the coach calls this play, he's like, yes, sir, we're going to run this play no matter what. And sometimes it works. A lot of times it didn't. But with Tannehill, if he comes up to the line, he see, oh, you know what? I see cover two. I see them backing like they're expecting a deep ball. Let's go ahead and move it to a slant on the inside. Let's pick up this first down. That's something that they might do, and it will work. Or if they, come up with a pass play, but they see that the safeties are backed off and that the corners are backed off and there's only, 6 or 7 guys in the box, they're like, okay, he's going to be like, okay, let's change this to a run, give it to Derrick Henry. So I think that's where Tannehill being that second coach on the field will pay dividends. And that is where, again, you gotta keep teams guessing. You can't be like Malarkey and Robusky rolling the same plan out every week because teams are gonna adapt to you. You got to be able, and we say this all the time, when week to week, when you're making an adjustment, that defense is going to adjust to you. You got to be able to adjust to their adjustment. Keep them
exactly
guessing.
The game. Yep.
So
it's chess, baby. It's chess. That's all.
Not
it is.
checkers.
Yeah, exactly. We have again. Yeah. Also,
Woo, I haven't played that so long.
Right, Paul is right. King Henry workload going to be reduced. Yeah, remember, we'll have a healthy Darrington Evans. Evans that's actually gone through training camp, OTAs, get a little bit more familiar. Hopefully that will happen. We have Mr. Preston here that says, my question is Evans going to finally show up all season and not just in certain games? Our offense is legit, but we need to be focused on talking about our defense. Are you more worried about the offense than the defense? I mean, again, this offseason, the tighten up flag just fell. That's not a good thing.
We got to keep going. We got to keep going, but we're going to push through.
Yeah, we're going to push through. Do you think he's right? Again, I was still a little worried about the defense, not because it's so young. And again, a lot of people are saying you can only go up, right? The defense was terrible last year. We've upgraded. We got some people from free agency. We got people from the draft to help that situation. But what do you guys think? Are you still a little worried about the defense?
Got to wait till we see it. And I mean, we got to see it on the field. With that, we got to see this together against another team. I mean, again, as Ken has alluded to it, and you've alluded to it as well. And it's like, if you got to fix that flag to keep it going, we understand. You know, because I mean, hey, if it brings good luck, we got to keep it up. So, I mean, with the defense, we got to see it. And it's going to be, again, it's got to be a slow, steady rise of improvement. Again, as I've always said it, that 12 to 18 range by the end of the year. If they can do that with this offense on paper looking as good as it does, we have a real legit chance to do some major damage. And, you know, with Evans, I think Evans is going to be around the whole season. Again, you know, as backing up Henry, could definitely be big on special teams. So we're going to definitely see. And I think that's what's going to be major. And, you know, we're just got to see the defense steadily improve.
Yeah, with Evans, I think if he has another year, this would be the year for him to do it because he's in a contract year, right? So guys usually perform their best in a contract year. We didn't pick up his 5th-year option. We never do with anybody. So, you know, this will likely be his last year in Tennessee. He knows that. So I think he's going to give 100% effort. I've never not seen him give 100%, but his 100% just hasn't been good enough. We'll have to wait and see if it's good enough in year 4.
Less penalties.
Less penalties, I agree.
Yeah, if he gives us if Rashawn gives us less penalties, more action, and go along with Jayon, we know Jayon is pretty freaking good, pretty freaking good when he's healthy. When he's 100% healthy, I mean, Jayon Brown is a Pro Bowl caliber player. Rashawn, when he's on, he's focused. He's not causing stupid penalties. Yep. Rashawn Evans is really, really good, but he's got to make sure up here he's got it all together.
We have the Power Hour says Josh Reynolds has a type of Nate Washington feel to me. Defense are going to forget him, and he'll make them pay. He actually might be a little bit better, to be honest with you. I'm calling that. You never.
And I mean, the thing about with Josh Reynolds, when we first heard that Julio, you know, Josh Reynolds got signed, we're thinking, okay, he's number 2. People maybe wasn't, you know, was kind of skeptical about that. But at the same time, with Josh Reynolds, he was ready to prove himself. He had a chip on his shoulder. Julio comes in, and I was kind of expecting Josh to kind of have an even bigger chip on his shoulder, like they come bring in this guy, taking away my spot. I'm like, I wanted a bigger role. I was trying to prove myself to you. But now with him there, like you said, like Power Hour is saying, this might make Josh Reynolds' life a whole lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
And
I agree.
And I mean, he could eat. He could seriously eat in the middle, deep post routes. Josh Reynolds could set up to do some major, major damage to a defense.
Again, Uncle Joe says, thanks, Mr. Tyne. Glad I found the show. Hey, man, I'm glad you found the show, too. I appreciate it. And then everyone who's watching, any new subscribers or people haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Please like. I go live, you know, every other week. Again, Chris goes live every Wednesday. Great show, great content. And Ken Moore is starting to do his own thing, too. Question, does the stuff going on with Julio scare you at all? Guessing Tennessee didn't expect real-life Ozark when they signed him. I don't think so. I'm not too worried about it. I don't think they're too worried about it either. I think they're going to handle it outside. Yeah. You know, I think that's what it's going to be. Right?
I'm with that, too. I mean, you know, Julio is basically saying, look, I'm here to play football. I'm letting my legal team handle that. And that's exactly, that is the perfect answer to give. Julio like, look, I'm letting my legal team handle this. I'm worried about football. And that's bravo.
That's it. That's it. Let the people that get paid for that, right? Let them deal with it. What do you think about that, Ken?
Exactly.
Man, let the legal stuff take care of the legal stuff.
That's it.
As long as it's not a Deshaun Watson type situation, it's money. It's millionaires fighting over money. So let the millionaires handle their stuff.
Definitely, it's nowhere near Deshaun Watson situation, so that's a good thing. It ain't nothing that, oh my God, it's going to be the worst thing ever. Nah, this ain't a big deal.
Chad Davis says, I think Firsker is going to have a great season. I do think they brought in the other, what's his name?
Luke Stocker.
Luke Stocker back. Luke Stocker was with the Atlanta Falcons, obviously played for the Titans for a little bit and then went to Atlanta. So that's nice to have. Again, it's good to have just depth and that rotation. You want to have that rotation. You never know what could happen in the season.
Now,
what's up?
I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Now, I will say this with Stocker. One thing about Luke Stocker, he is a really, really good blocking tight end. And one thing that's going to help, he can help Firkser in his journey in being a tight end with his blocking. And that's something that's going to be a major benefit. So, Luke Stocker coming in, he can come in a pinch. It's not like, oh my God, we got to hurry and bring him up to speed. I think Stocker's going to catch on right away. And so now we're set at tight end with 3. So we'll see what happens with that.
What do you think about that pickup, Ken?
I like to pick up. I'd have preferred Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz is a former All-Pro, and he wants to get out of Philadelphia. He does not want to be part of a rebuild. So I was hoping that Zach Ertz would be the guy. I think that really would have set our offense off. It would have been unstoppable across the board. But you can't have superstars at every position. Stocker knows the offense. He knows the organization. And as Blue Enforcer mentioned, if he can come in and help with the blocking game, with the running game, that would definitely be a benefit.
Definitely.
Plus, Ertz would have been much more money.
Oh, here's a good question because this is, again, I liked him, but I know that you liked him as well as a running back. Ken, do you know why they didn't bring back Foreman back? I thought he would have a great death piece in the backfield. Again, he was nice when he would hit the hole. He hit the hole with some power. Sometimes I would be like, who was that again? I'm like, oh shit,
Right.
it's Foreman.
Right.
So he was nice. What do you think?
I asked a good friend of mine about that a couple of months ago, if Foreman was going to be back. And he simply said no. He didn't give me any details as to why, which kind of, shocked me a little bit because he was the one that told me he was coming. He's friends with the family. So I don't know what's going on with Deontay. Things did not end well in Houston with him. He had a brief tryout with the Colts. That didn't go well. And he had a good half year with the Titans last year. He has been injured. And I think the main thing with Deontay, unfortunately, is that he was a running back that got used up a lot in college. I think his senior year, he had, I think, the most carries for any running back in college history, or at least in the last 20 years. They used him up at the University of Texas. And when he got to the NFL, it was just injury after injury. He got hurt in Tennessee last year. And at the running back position, when you start having those leg injuries, it's really hard to overcome. And even though he's only been in the league like 2 or 3 years, it really seems like he's a 7 or 8 year veteran because he has so many carries on his body at the University of Texas.
Oh man, is Jerry McNichols still with us? I don't know.
He's still, I think he's on the PUP.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, I think he's on the PUP with Sambrilo.
Okay. He goes, how will Farley help our secondary take the next step? I'm not that familiar with him.
I mean, Caleb Farley is an athlete. He's an athlete. He's got very good speed, can keep up with some of the faster corners. I mean, he has a knack for the ball, was a former wide receiver. So he may be able to read routes better than some of the younger wide receivers could. So I think he'll be a major help there. Obviously, he's got to get healthy first. He's got to get healthy and not be injury prone going forward. If he could do that and not be injury prone, then we may have a very special player on our hands as far as that is concerned. So again, we'll have to see, how he comes out of, this injury. Is he able to go ahead and be able to help us? Or, we may have to medical redshirt him the first year. And I mean, again, with Jenkins and Fulton and Molden, and, that's fine. And if by some shock, Xavier Howard comes in, which I don't think is going to happen, if that does happen, I mean, that buys Caleb Farley even more time.
What do you guys think about Farley being that nickel corner, say the second half of the season? Say if he comes back week 6, 7, 8, he comes in as a nickel.
I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that at all. But he's that athletic though.
He's a big. I mean, it would depend. It would depend. I mean, he's a big guy. He's about 6. I want to say he's about 6'2". I want to say about 6'1", 6'2", or something like that. You don't see too many very tall corners playing a slot like that. Now, I could be mistaken. I could be very well mistaken, but I think he's more of an outside corner than inside.
Very nice. Titanium and Chris wants to know, do you think we'll take a shot at Howard, and what would that mean for our secondary? And that was one of the ones I thought I heard that he was interested in going to. He was one of the teams that he picked to go with. Again, he plays for the Dolphins. Again, apparently he's not very happy with the Dolphins. What do you think, Chris? I mean, it would have been a nice little addition, don't you think?
I mean, he would be a good addition, but that's also why you kind of got your Norris Jenkins. Now, if you didn't have Jack Rabbit, I would probably be a little bit more on board with this idea, but maybe I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'll be happy to be. I just don't see it happening. We don't have the money. I mean, unless we do some restructuring and, change up some stuff, which, I mean, it can be. I'm not going to say it can't be done. It can be done. I just don't think it will be done. I'll say that.
What do you think, Ken?
Well, I think there's a shot.
Okay.
I think there's a shot. Now, there's a shot if Miami decides they want to go ahead and move him. I personally don't think Miami's going to trade him. They're going to make him play the last year of his contract. And if he doesn't want to play, he won't get paid. But if Miami says, you know what, we're trying to do some things here. Let's go ahead and get this guy out. Now, look, and he has a point, right? He's one of the best corners in the league.
Yep.
He's the second highest paid corner on his team. Now, that's his agent's fault because his agent signed a deal 2-3 years ago, didn't project out how good his client was going to be. So that's on his agent. So for Miami's sake, I would hope that they would find a way to bridge the gap. But if they don't bridge the gap and they open it up, I would expect J-Rob to hop in. I would give up a first-round pick for Xavier Howard. I would. You got Howard and you got Farley going forward as your bookend corners. Yeah, I give up a first-round pick for that. I don't know if the Titans would do it, but I would do it.
Again, I'm not saying they can't do it. They can do it. I just don't think they will do it. And
Right.
for a first round, and honestly, for a first round pick, those first round picks are a little bit too valuable. I mean, yeah, I know we had Panda. He stunk. He stinks to death. I know that.
Pickens stinks, man.
I mean, Ficken stinks. That is a good point. I mean, but I don't know for a first round pick. If it's a second rounder, like we do with Julio, yeah, I might be down for that. But we'll see. We'll definitely see. But yeah, him and Farley together, a healthy Farley with Xavier Howard, man, that would be a nice piece with Fulton and Molden on the inside. I'm not totally against it. I just don't know if it'll happen though.
Yeah.
Definitely. Let's see. I would love Tyne Ross says I would love to have Howard. I think we do have the money based on his contract right now. Powerhouse says Chandler Jones is also a possibility with a restructuring.
Too much money.
Yeah, most likely. Klaus, have you guys heard if the Titans have any interest in bringing back Brooke Reed?
I haven't heard anything.
I haven't heard anything either. Shane wants to know, wouldn't it be terrible with our youth in the defensive backfield, not for a first-round pick for sure, 1 year rental?
Not for a first-round pick. If you're going to give up a first-round pick for Xavier Howard, you better be signing him to a new deal.
Right.
All right, guys, before I let you guys go, the last question again, and then we'll let you go because we're running on 1 hour and 30. I got to wake up in a couple of hours. It's right here, the QB competition. Woodside or Kaiser? Who do you have? And if there's any other QBs that come to mind, I have one, and Upload was the one that brought it up. And again, I feel like the backup QB should mirror Ryan Tannehill. It should mirror your starting QB so the offense doesn't completely change from one thing to another. Happened a couple of years ago with Blaine Gabbert and Marcus Mariota. Marcus was hurt, and Blaine Gabbert, we were doing trick plays up the ass. We're pulling them out of our hats. So what do you guys think? So I got a couple of people saying Foles. You got RG3. All right. All right, so what do you guys think? Go, Chris. We'll go with Chris.
Well, I know I went on record before saying it's Deshaun Kaiser's job to lose. Apparently, according to what he's been looking like in practice lately, looks like I need to change my tune a bit. So I like to admit I was wrong. I think maybe now it's Woodside's job to lose because Woodside's been here. He has, the experience of being in this system. Now, he hasn't thrown an NFL pass officially, but, I mean, I think they would trust Woodside a little bit more than Kaiser. Kaiser looks like in practice has been throwing interceptions all over the place.
What do you think, Ken?
Is there a neither?
That would be a good answer.
Neither. Yeah. You see what's happening in Indianapolis right now with their quarterback hurt. And then they got two guys that have never taken a snap. I mean, it's the same situation here. You just cross your fingers and hope nothing happens to Ryan Tannehill. You got to draft a quarterback next year, by the way. You got to draft a quarterback. If Woodside, let's see what Woodside does in preseason. And if he has to get into a game or two this year, let's see how he performs. But if he does not perform well in the preseason, you got to draft a quarterback next year to be behind Ryan Tannehill. Or go sign you a veteran of Marcus Mariota type that you can have in the wings waiting behind him. Mitch Trubisky, somebody of that ilk. Either a Gardner Minshew. If Gardner Minshew does not win his job in Jacksonville and he wants to leave next year, I think he would be a great backup.
Yep, for Minshew.
I would definitely be okay with Minshew mania coming to Nashville because, I mean, that's Trevor Lawrence's team now.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence is the starting quarterback from jump, and Gardner Minshew has negative 1,000% chance to win that job over him.
Yeah, I think. What about a Blake Bortles? No?
Now, I mean,
he knows the AFC South. He's
a better option than Woodside or Kaiser, but that's not saying much.
Did I make Ken leave? He got so upset he left.
I think I might have ticked the kid off on that one.
I think he got mad.
I mean, but again, with Blake, again, he would be a better option than Woodside or Kaiser, but that's about it. I mean, he's not a better option than Minshew. He's not a better option than some of the other backup quarterbacks in the league. So I don't know. I'm curious to see who you're saying is the guy that Upload might have mentioned that you think, but Yeah, I'm hoping I didn't piss Ken off by saying that.
Yeah.
I'm here now. I was trying to check out this 200 meters in the
Dang,
Olympics real quick.
I gotta check some of that out too. I gotta get back on my Olympics.
Yeah, there's a young lady running from
I've
UT
been-
that I had to check out.
Yeah.
All right. But again, guys, before we close the show, again, I want to say thank everyone that showed up, that participated. Again, if you want to, after this channel is done, go leave a comment. If you haven't liked it, like it, and then I'll draw from the comments a giveaway, and someone will win something. I promise. I'll do like a random giveaway and stuff like that. So remember, don't forget to leave a comment once this video is done. And if you guys want to, please follow these great gentlemen. Again, Ken Moore, let them know. Chris, let them know where you're at, and go ahead.
Yeah, guys, you can find me at K Moore Sports on YouTube and on Twitter at K Moore Sports. Just hop on over, hit that subscribe button. We'll have a lot of great shows once the preseason starts. We're also going to have some NBA free agency shows as well. So if you guys are basketball fans, hop on over and we'll be doing some NBA free agency. I know Chris is a big Grizzlies fan. We may get him in to talk a little NBA free agency, recap the draft and all that good stuff. And then on Instagram, you can find me at Ken Moore Sports on Instagram. So you guys go hit up those channels and we'll be chatting soon.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And
go ahead, Chris.
I concur with that at all. I would not mind talking a little Grizzly ball. You know, I'm definitely a fan of that. So, you know, y'all can find me on Titans and Truth on YouTube. You know, that's the N in the middle. So on Facebook is TNT Enforcers. That is the page on Facebook. Also on Instagram at Titans_N_Truth. Also on Twitter at TNT Blue Enforcer. That's with the number 4 in the middle. So that's TNTBU B4 CER. So I just did a show doing a preview of training camp just a few days ago. I'm also going to be doing another show this upcoming week. I have I got some new equipment, so I'm working on some stuff to get a good picture. We're gonna have some Truth League reports starting up. So if you know people who are fans of other teams, definitely gonna be talking about some other divisions and stuff. And I got a concept down to the T talking about Tennessee sports with the Vols, with the Grizzlies, the Tigers, maybe squeeze in some Vanderbilt and stuff like that. So I'm going to be starting to get ready to put that together. That's a concept I'm still working on. So some big things are coming this way. If you haven't subscribed, help me get to 1,000, y'all. I'm almost there. I'm about 50 shy. So help me out. Come on over. You won't regret it.
There you go, guys. Thank you guys so much for coming on the show. It's a blessing, man. God bless and tighten up.
Good night.
So, guys, remember, don't forget, if you're going to the home opener, I got you guys. Home opener, September 11th, 2 p.m. We have Dexter McCluster, Gerald McGrath. I'll be there. It's called The Rudder. It's a Mr. Titans Hangout. You can check it out. Look me up on Twitter. It's Mr._Titan5. Mr._Titan5. You can find the flyer as we get closer to the date and stuff like that. I'll definitely post more stuff about the things. Again, we're doing giveaways as well. You can win a signed ball by Dexter McCluster. You can also win a signed ball by Gerald McGrath. It'll be in a raffle, $5 raffle, so it'll be really, really fun. Again, it's family friendly. I mean, if you're going to the home opener, it's a chance to come out, hang out, meet me, meet the players. Again, it'll be a great time. So remember, jot that down. September 11th, 2 p.m., The Rudder. It's going to be a great time in Hendersonville, Tennessee. Not Hendersonville, Hendersonville. Henderson, sorry. Kind of confused the shit out of everyone. But other than that, please, like I said, to win, try to win a giveaway, go put something on the comments, anything, tighten up, anything you want to put. after the show is done, write a comment, and I'll pick one by the end of this week, and I'll let you guys know what you guys won. I'll message you guys privately through Twitter or through Messenger here. So again, thank you guys so much for sticking with me. Thank you for watching the show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember, share it out, like it, do what you need to do. I appreciate everyone that's actually listens to me. On Twitter, I'll be doing Your Space, which is basically a little community Titans talk. Every day I try to do, at least I pick one topic, and I'll go live and stuff like that. So just the interaction and stuff like that. So thank you guys so much for everything, and God bless, and tighten up, guys.